All right, welcome back to Prep Sports Junkies. Every week here at StateChampsNetwork.com. Scott Bernstein, the big fella, Jeff Dulac. We're here breaking down all the most pressing issues, topics from the statewide high school sports landscape. We are through week 5 of the local prep high school football season and, well, statewide prep football season. Yep. And we're going to bust out some hardware, some mid-season awards. Yep. Give some accolades to some players and coaches that have done an outstanding job through the first 5 weeks of the year. Let's start with breakout player, guys that we've identified that have had the fastest start out of the gates, the guys that maybe you didn't know about before the season, but you need to know about now, and you do know about now because of what they're doing. Jeff, who's your first guy?
I'll start off with Tyler Trovinger, the quarterback at Muskegon Mona Shores. He's putting up some ridiculous numbers. I believe second game of the year against Fruitport, he broke the school record for touchdown passes in the game with 5 or 6. And he's got that team, after losing a Division I quarterback in Tyree Jackson, he's got that team right back to where they were last year. They're 5-0. They're making a push towards the playoffs, and they're looking like a legitimate candidate for a team that can get back to Ford Field and make some noise. Trovinger's had the help of 3 Division I wide receivers, but he plays offense, he plays defense, and he's making noise in both positions.
Yeah, but let's also talk about who he replaced.
Exactly.
The shoes he had to fill, and to say that he's filling them is an understatement. He's thriving.
Right. He played just the second half, I believe, or just
just so you know, we're talking about Tyree Jackson, quarterback that took him into the state championship game last year and is at Buffalo right now.
Yeah, and I mean, to expect anything too much out of a kid stepping in for the first time, except for playing for a couple of quarters against Farmington Hills Harris in the semifinals when Jackson went down last year, Trovinger's been outstanding. He's been a guy who this team has relied on, and he has stepped up in a big way. I really believe this is a team that, had high expectations for this year, but maybe expected, it to take a little bit of time to get going, and he's stepped in, done an awesome job from the start.
All right, we're going to go stay here in Metro Detroit for my breakout player, Kaiser Carlton. It's been more like Kaiser Soze, the bad guy from the Usual Suspects movie. He has just been dispensing coming tacklers, dashing into the end zone at a prolific rate, leaving tacklers in his wake, putting up huge yardage numbers. Week 1, he went over 200 yards against a Clarkston, defending state champion Clarkston team. He's got Dakota at 4-1. Them in Chip Valley, the 1 and 2 probably in Macomb County. No disrespect to Warren Mott and some other teams. But, small package. He's only about 5'7", maybe 5'8". Right. But, man, can he make plays? Can he, have defensive coordinators scratching their heads, taking their headsets and just throwing them onto the ground in frustration? Love what I see from Kaiser Carlton this year.
Just for both players there, can you imagine a more resounding statement that the two of them made through the first couple of weeks of the season? The performances they put out just to start, that let everybody in the state know that these guys are for real and these guys are here.
Yeah, and whoever grabs these guys at the college level are going to be quite happy with the packages that they're receiving. Let's go to Coach of the Year or coaching performances through the first 5 weeks. Guys that have really impressed us on the sidelines. Jeff, your first guy?
I think it's hard to go against Warren Mott's coach, Tom Milanoff. He came out and had an upset over Macomb, Dakota. Now a whole lot of people saw that happening. He's got that team competing really hard. Last week, they were not too far away from upsetting a Chippewa Valley team as well. And that's just a team that is playing really good football right now. He's got that team motivated and really probably playing the best football they've played in the last couple of years, and that's saying quite a bit for where this program has been.
All right, I'm going to give my nod to John Harrington, the legend from the Harrison Hawks, the only coach the Hawks have ever had. State record 13 state titles. There's no question this guy can get it done on the sidelines, but this is one of his best coaching jobs. He's done his best coaching of his career, in my opinion, late in his career, from around 2009 and 10 forward, since that last state title. He's done some outstanding jobs with some teams that maybe people didn't look at as highly vaunted as some other teams that he had, but has just done unbelievable. Last year they went to the Final Four. This year you have a team that's facing rumors of a school closing. 2 starters, 2 guys that would have been stars and are stars, bolted the week before the season. The Team Harrington is as focused as ever with John Harrington, making sure that they haven't missed a beat since last year, losing an all-state quarterback in Javon Shaw. Losing those 2 kids, dealing with the rumors, they put them all aside. They're 4-1, could easily be 5-0. Look great in the driver's seat right now for a repeat league championship. They shared it last year. Just hats off to John Harrington and that staff. Let's move to our MVPs, guys that have played the best through the first half of the year that we think are the best players in the state right now. Jeff, who's your guy?
I think it's very hard to go against Warren De La Salle's True Wilson. He plays everywhere, literally everywhere on the field. Alan Stritzinger is the starting running back, but True Wilson sees some carries there.
Well, Stritzinger's been banged up.
Right.
Wilson stepped in 130 yards last week.
Yeah, I think that just spoke volumes about what a great player he is. He's a defensive back. He's one of the best defensive backs in the entire state of Michigan. Stritzinger gets banged up. He moves over to the offensive side, sees the lion's share of the carries there, and he does damage against our previous #1 team in the state in St. Mary's. It speaks volumes to what he does. And it's a guy who also handles the kickoff returns and punt returns. He's the jack of all trades.
He's an emotional spark plug.
Exactly, yeah.
He's a 4.0 student, or close to a 4.0 student in the classroom, getting recruited by all the military academies. Yeah. This kid is a stud on and off the field.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to give my MVPs to 2 separate players from the Oakland County ranks, my breeding ground, 2 quarterbacks. Kyle Thomas from Walled Lake Western, Tristan Action Jackson from West Bloomfield. Both their teams could end up running the table. Wouldn't be shocked if either of these teams win a state championship in West Bloomfield in D1, Walled Lake Western in D2 or 3.
D2 probably.
D2 probably. Just outstanding dual threats. They're going to beat you with their arm. They're going to beat you with your legs. Tristan Jackson can beat you stretching the field as a wide receiver. They're playing him at split end a little bit because that's what he'll be playing at Michigan State next year. And they're just the definition of electricity, the definition of prime time player. It's just you leave watching these 2 playing and you say to yourself, that's one of the best high school performers in the area, in the state, no question about it. It's a slam dunk when you're talking about Kyle Thomas and Tristan Jackson. So that's our award, mid-season awards. Check back next week. We'll have another Prep Sports Junkies. I'm Scott Bernstein for the Big Fella. We'll see you next week, always here on StateChampsNetwork.com.